They talk about how black men are the most incarcerated without talking about how black men are the most exonerated because we're more likely to go to jail under false pretenses. You know what I'm saying? They talk about this per capita violence when the raw numbers show that the clear community commits the most murders. You know what I'm saying? They use per capita to make it look good. But when we talk about raw numbers, we're not the violent ones. You know what I mean? And they also bring up Chicago, and Chicago's not even in the top 10 violent cities in America.
Southern rappers of all time. And the ill thing about it is, like I said, we talked about the LA rappers. We talked about the Bay rappers. We talked about New York rappers. You know what I'm saying? We're definitely tapping into the Southern market because, with me, I'm a hip-hop head. I love it all. I grew up on some. And I wish the Queen was here because once Quez mentioned it in the background about Southern rappers, she immediately said, 8-Ball in him. Trina's dope. You know what I'm saying? But Trina don't hold a candle to Missy Elliott. You know what I'm saying?
We went through the Trinas, the Mia X, the Gangsta Boo.
Right.
We went through all of them, and we was like, dang, there is somebody we missing, but that's a damn good one to be missing.
I told you.
I did not think about Missy Elliott for real. That's
A judge has just sentenced Combs to 4 years and 2 months in federal prison. And
so you heard about this guy, Bunny? Is that his name? Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny. He's the Superbwl attraction.
African Americans today have an equal probability of being Native American and African or Native American only.
They talk about how black men are the most incarcerated without talking about how black men are the most exonerated because we're more likely to go to jail under false pretenses. You know what I'm saying? They talk about this per capita violence when the raw numbers show that the clear community commits the most murders. You know what I'm saying? They use per capita to make it look good. But when we talk about raw numbers, we're not the violent ones. You know what I mean? And they also bring up Chicago, and Chicago's not even in the top 10 violent cities in America.
Southern rappers of all time. And the ill thing about it is, like I said, we talked about the LA rappers. We talked about the Bay rappers. We talked about New York rappers. You know what I'm saying? We're definitely tapping into the Southern market because, with me, I'm a hip-hop head. I love it all. I grew up on some. And I wish the Queen was here because once Quez mentioned it in the background about Southern rappers, she immediately said, 8-Ball in him. Trina's dope. You know what I'm saying? But Trina don't hold a candle to Missy Elliott. You know what I'm saying?
We went through the Trinas, the Mia X, the Gangsta Boo.
Right.
We went through all of them, and we was like, dang, there is somebody we missing, but that's a damn good one to be missing.
I told you.
I did not think about Missy Elliott for real. That's
a judge has just sentenced Combs to 4 years and 2 months in federal prison. And
so you heard about this guy, Bunny? Is that his name? Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny. He's the Superbwl attraction.
are you going to demand that I give a certain amount? How are you going to demand that? That's crazy.
To say that you get more jobs outside of the Breakfast Club now without mentioning that you get them because the Breakfast Club is crazy.
He wasted a half a year in the campaign. And so where she, again, matter of fact,
I feel more comfortable talking about some of my trauma because you were so brave to talk about what you went through. I'm like, y'all don't even know. Like, I barely scratched the surface. Like, this,
right.
this was just like, you know.
Yeah. It's your boy 33 and I'm back in effect. Like I said, right now we about to step and never get wet. A young black intellect. I told you before, when I spit, I get respect. For those that neglect and try to hate, yeah, you sit back over there and just conversate amongst yourselves with a dunce hat. You can see the 3rd degrees really rock that. I rock the mic from here to the west, the east. If you don't know, yes, we don't speak. Those we don't know, yeah, they wanna act loco, but we go ahead and start the show whenever, however you want it, and I can give it to you, however you want it. The whole crew can get it. Nobody specific. 3rd degrees here. Like I said, let me make sure I'm loud and clear. Young, black, fresh, debonair, and I'm smooth. Got chest by my side, yes, I be that dude. If you don't know those tests, they get exclusive. If you talking about me, yes, I'm through. Yeah, I put it in mode. Like I said right now, let the truth be told. Never sold my soul. And I'm back on top. Like I said right now, sitting next to pot. Oh, whoa. Yes. Woo. How you doing, Jess?
Trying to get over this little sickness I have. I'm here.
I can dig it. We are both here, right here, man. It's been a long week. Long week. I'm tired. I'm just ready to go to sleep. It's been a crazy week too, right?
Yes, very crazy.
Man, a lot of stuff happening, especially today. I'm pretty sure you guys all heard, and some of you, that's the reason why you're probably here to see what it is that we got to say about this one. It is kind of crazy. Man, anything else been happening this week, Jess?
Yeah, I don't know if anybody seen the horrible thing that a teacher did to a student.
Yes, I meant to upload that video, but we did. But we'll talk about that too. Also, too, this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so you know we definitely want to send a shout out to the survivors, to those who are actually going through it. You know, healing energy. We're sending you prayers. We're right here with you. And we will talk a little bit more throughout the month about it to help enlighten and to educate folks and stuff like that and so forth. So, man.
Sorry, I'm still trying to get over it.
All right, y'all. So we're just going to go ahead and get into some ratchetness.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy 3rd Degree. We're back with more ratchet news. Well, some of it's ratchet, some of it's not, but we still got to speak on it. So let's go.
Well, kicking off the ratchetness, Ghana is planning to table a motion at the United Nations to have slave trade formally declared as one of the greatest crimes against humanity. Salute and shout out to Ghana. All right, let's move along. Now, here's the ratchetness that you guys probably wanted.
Kanye West drops a list of people who betrayed him. Number 1 is Kim Kardashian. Number 2 is ICE and Truml. Number 3 is Diddy. Number 4 is Ty Dolla $ign. The interesting ones are Harriet Tubman and Northwest. Like, what did they, your own daughter? Anyway, he weird. So, moving on. Woman claims Riverside County used law enforcement databases to stalk her. That's crazy, man. Crazy. Moving on. UPS now hiring in Los Angeles and Orange County. Great pay, benefits, and immediate openings. Apply today in the link. Well, I don't got the link, but you already know where to go. Moving on. Iconic Hollywood restaurant sign vanishes after 56 years. And I, as a dude who used to perform in and out of Hollywood a lot, I used to see this sign a lot right before I hit the freeway. So, kind of sad to see it go. But, hey, nothing lasts forever. Moving on. It's being reported that Adele and Taylor Swift have reportedly declined performing at the upcoming Superbwl halftime show. And the next pick is really interesting, but we'll talk about this a little bit later in the Ratchet News. Serial killer identified as suspect of 4 unalived girls at a yogurt stop in 1991. Good riddance on him. Moving on. It's being reported that Quincy Jones' Bel Air mansion listed for $60 million following his death. All right, salute. Moving on. Quick PSA, make sure if you're in San Bernardino to hit up Melba's home with the $10 plates. Let's go. All right, moving on. Hey, real quick, shout out to Devin Franklin and Tyler Perry for Ruth and Boaz. And it also has my homegirl, The Kid, in it. This was a great movie. I actually enjoyed it. And I wouldn't actually mind watching it again. I was expecting something else. Because Tyler, you've been kind of on one lately, but this is a great one. Great watch. I suggest it. Recommend it. All right, moving on. FBI fires agents pictured kneeling at George Floyd protest in 2020. Oh, geez, that's crazy. They're really trying to get some get back for anybody who wasn't on their side, right? Moving on. Neo snaps, grabs Sam by the neck after his stage runner tries to crash his Kobe show, and he literally threw him. And as he should, man. Y'all gotta keep y'all punk asses off the stage. Sit down and just enjoy the show, all right? Salute to Neo. Moving on. Well, but speaking of Neo and his main chick, I guess, one of the 4. Bella, their sex tape leaked and hit the net, and fans matched tattoos for receipts. It's kind of crazy. This dude's really trying to go out to show that he's that man, huh? All right, moving on. What in the hell? There's a Tina Turner honored with a statue in her hometown, but it looks like this right here. You see? What the hell is that right there? Hey, man. Moving on. Was it the year of sex tapes? Safari and Campella Mato's 10-minute sex tape leaks online. Leak? I mean, he put it out, for attention because he's a thirsty attention whore. You know what I mean? Moving on. It was being reported that the Steelers' backup quarterback was jumped and robbed out in Ireland, man. So send the prayers out to him, Moving on. Shout out to Jay-Z. Jay-Z's grandmother gave a speech at her 100th birthday party. So salute and happy belated birthday, Queen. We see you. Much love. Moving on. Well, going back to Ireland, Ireland will pay you $90,000 to start fresh on a quiet island. I think not. After you've seen homeboy get robbed and insulted, I don't know about that one. Moving on. It's being reported that China has invented a new bone glue that repairs bone fractures in just 3 minutes, no surgery or metal plates needed. While we're over here worried about immigrants, China's out here advancing in science and technology. So shout out to them because they're focused on the right stuff. All right, moving on. Obama says that world's problems come from old men refusing to step down. 100% agree. Obama's out here talking that ish. Salute. Moving on. Mariah Carey was told to leave the U.S. after admitting she didn't know Charlie Clerk. And critics jeered, darling, I remember melodies, not mediocrity. You know what I mean? So, real talk. Moving on. Well, but speaking of Mariah, it's been rumored that she has a duet with Michael Jackson that's been unreleased. MJ State, what are you guys waiting on? Let's drop it like yesterday. You know what I mean? Moving on. And I don't know what, earlier you saw was really entertaining, but ratcheting this to the full effect, Cardi B and Nicki Minaj have been beefing, going back and forth, talking about each other's husbands and boyfriends and even worse, kids, And with Nicki being a Sagittarius, I understand and agree with her, but what she was saying about the kids, it seems like I think Nicki really just on one, But we'll talk about this a little bit more. All right, moving on. Clarissa Shields clapped back at Remy Ma with gun range post after a head tap this. Okay, moving on. Bryson James developing an animated Family Matters reboot with cast on board. We'll see. All right, moving on. Award-winning chef Kwame, I don't even know his last name, opens up an Afro-Caribbean steakhouse at Sahara, Las Vegas. Honors Benjamin Banneker, draws inspiration from the Maroons, and blends West African, Jamaican, and Creole traditions. I want to try it. Moving on. Reading Rainbow is back and with a new host, Michael the librarian. I don't even know who he is, but good that they're bringing it back. These kids need to read. Moving on. Police say that Tyrese Gibson's dog attacked an unalive neighbor's dog. Crazy. Moving on. YouTube reaches 5 million settlement over 2021 suspension of President Trump's account. Why? Moving on. Kris Jenner and Kim K filed defamation lawsuit against Ray J, as they should. Moving on. Political strategist Ashley Allison inquires the root, returning it back to black ownership. Salute Queen. Moving on. Brittany Renner wants PJ Washington to run that bag, says $5.K a month ain't enough, demands $35K in child support. You dumb bras. Moving on. Diver finds $1 million in gold coins in Spanish shipwreck off Florida coast. Salute to him. Moving on. Lauryn Hill looks visibly uncomfortable taking photo with Kodak Black. I would too. He looks like he practices voodoo. But moving on. Well, remember how it was been reported that Adele and Taylor Swift turned down the Super Bowl halftime show? And then reported that Bad Bunny has accepted, and it's already starting to piss off some races. We're actually going to talk about this tonight. Moving on. Last but not least, Diddy has finally gotten his sentence today. He's sentenced to 4 years and 2 months with time served, so he only served like 3 years, but man, it's crazy, right? And 50 Cent wastes no time. He said, hey, to whoever was booking Diddy for that speaking engagement, I heard he won't be able to make it. I'm available. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Well, that's all I got, so let's go ahead and get into the show. See you in a few. Anyway, I'm your boy Third Degree, and that's been your Ratchet News. Enjoy the show. Yo, we are back. Man, did you see anything in the Ratchet News that caught your eye, Jess?
Yeah. I don't know what's going on with the Cardi B and Nicki Minaj beef, but
it's crazy, right?
I heard they brought the kids into it. I don't know who did it first, but that's pretty whack.
Right.
Not mature at all.
Not
showing your kids a good example at all. Nicki Minaj is what, in her 40s?
Yeah.
It's sad. Very, very sad. With Cardi B too. Very sad.
Right.
Like I said, I don't know who started first, but very poor decision.
At the end of the day, Cardi B's being Cardi B. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is love and hip hop, Cardi B, ratchet. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be honest with you, who started it, in my opinion, was Nicki Minaj. Because again, you know, Cardi was out here tweeting about her success and accomplishments with her latest project, and Nicki just came out of left field and just started just throwing shots. Then of course, in true Cardi B fashion, she responds. I'm not sure who brought whose kid in it first, but it's still kind of whack, you know what I mean? Because again, the kids ain't got nothing to do with it. You know, but in the sport of hip hop, though, which is what they're both in, it's sad to say, but there's really nothing off limits when it comes to battle. You know what I'm saying? But Cardi is pregnant. You know what I'm saying? Nicki Minaj is, you know, of course, she has her son. Yeah, it's just kind of crazy, though. But again, all this is really going to do right now is help Cardi. It's seriously, because she just it's free publicity. It's keeping her in Twitter and IG and X and all this other stuff. But then, you know, Nicki starts going on these rants about Jay-Z, Rock Nation, Rick Ross caught it straight, Breakfast Club, TMZ, you know, everybody. So I don't know if she's going through something. She did announce that she has an album coming out in like March. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that very well could be it. But again, like normally when you start kicking up this type of dust, you have a project that's already ready to go. You know, people got to wait till March to actually hear something. And by that time, you know, this right here is going to be kind of settled out and settled down. You know what I'm saying? So expect more ratchetness to probably transpire within the coming months. But right now, all this is going to do is just really just help Cardi. You know, and then on top of that, and then Cardi's beefing with JT from the City Girls, and then Cardi's sister's into it with her too. It's like a royal rumble of just ratchet.
Very ratchet. I feel as a mother, I don't care. I love hip hop, but as a mother, that shouldn't have went down at all.
Very true. I mean, I expect you to say that. You know, as a Sagittarius, you know, if you go low, I go hell, and you know, so I get it, and I get where Cardi B is coming from, but it's still not cool. You know what I'm saying? Babies ain't got nothing to do with it. And at the end of the day, they're gonna grow up, you know, the internet, they're gonna see this, kids are mean, they're gonna make fun of them and all this other stuff. So it didn't need to really even go there. And then I guess people were getting on Nicki, right, about it, and she gave like a backhanded apology, saying like, you know, she said that culture will eventually grow into her gums and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Just, I don't know.
So which one of them is a Sagittarius?
Nicki.
Oh, okay. Makes a lot of sense. I guess I'll be rooting for Cardi B.
Man. Anything else catch your attention, Jess?
What else? I can't even remember everything. Sorry, you caught me on a bad week.
Let's see. Normally Quez writes these down, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I think Quez is, you know, underneath the weather, you know what I'm saying?
I feel you, Quez.
Yeah.
I'm barely making it here.
You should be just getting over yours.
Well, I'm not.
You know what'll help you clear that out is some Uncle Nearest.
Wow.
All right, y'all.
Oh,
so
I thought she was gonna put it on the promotion.
I was. Let me. We're gonna circle back with that. You said from eating that cold chicken. Hey, Rob, you're gonna want to come on, man. I hope you're home. You know, please. I got the link in the comments on Facebook. I got the link in the bio, or actually in the description. And I, you know, so come on through. If you guys want to come on as a guest, you know, especially we need some guests, some guest co-hosts. Just go ahead and just click the link. And if you're on Facebook, what's up to all the YouTubers out there? We see you. Just know if you're using your phone, you have to use your headphones. Your phone will work as a microphone. It will pick up any and everything that you're doing. So we want to make sure that you're in a nice, quiet spot. Please, no driving, no walking, no fighting, no sitting on the toilet, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? We just want your undivided attention. As Quez likes to say, this is a production, so which has potential to get cut up and get put out throughout the world. You know, we got people in Scotland that are watching, you know, England, Canada, Africa, Japan, you know what I'm saying, Asia. So you just want to make sure, you know, you're the best representation of yourself. What did the teacher do? You know what? I'm going to have to try to find it. So right before we actually get into the meat and potatoes of the show, I'll see what I can do as far as trying to find a video. But yeah, there was a teacher who sang a happy birthday song to a black student. And, you know, she sang, they sang the regular happy birthday. Then she made like a funny one. You know, we'll have to play it. As we got a few teachers on here that watch, I definitely want your input. But yeah, so I might have to run the Ratchet News back a little bit, because normally during this time I would just go ahead and just, you know, find the video and you know, pretty much look for it for y'all. But let me see what I can do. But yeah, also too, if you come on as a guest, just know that, you know, it's all good. Things may get heated, things may get a little tense, but everybody has a right to their opinion, whether right, wrong, or indifferent. You have the right to agree to disagree. Just know that it's all good. You know what I'm saying? Just no disrespect, no calling out, no talking about pulling up, none of those veiled threats, talking about how you're going to pop people and all this other stupid stuff. Just, you know, it's the show. You know what I'm saying? If you really want to get at that person, get at that person. Also, too, the thoughts, views, and opinions expressed by the people are by those individuals alone. Don't hold anybody else accountable for what somebody else may say, you know. Other than that, just come on, have a good show, have a fun time. It's all about engagement over here. And yeah, we're just gonna have a good time. You got anything else you want to add, Jess?
Yeah, just sit back and enjoy the show.
Right, that's it. So let me go ahead and let's go ahead and play some ads while I look for this. Oh yes, let's run it back. So how are you feeling today, Jess?
Sick.
Man, do you feel like you have a stomach bug, a flu, or whatever?
A stomach bug.
Man, you know, I think I know something that might just clear that up. It's 100 proof, and you know, it's
gonna burn my inside.
It's gonna burn. It might burn whatever is messing you up. Matter of fact, it's called Uncle Nearest. Check it out.
Uncle Nearest Premium Whiskey is a brand of Tennessee whiskey honoring Nathan Nearest Green, the first known African-American master distiller. The Nearest Green Distillery, located in Shelbyville, Tennessee, is the world's first distillery named after an African-American. Green is credited with perfecting the Lincoln County process, a charcoal mellowing method that defines Tennessee whiskey's smoothness. Get your bottle today.
You mean to tell me that he never left the game?
Man, you in Italy. Why do you care about the streets of North?
Just say I love multiple streams of income.
I need you to keep tracking down informants that can lead us to Dutch.
You really don't care about people's lives, do you?
The guy's name is Chicho Mancuso. He's a vicious motherfucker. He likes dope and he likes bitches. He stole from a guy I've been working with, Renato.
Renato!
Fancy red diamond worth millions.
What about Agent Diana Moretti?
I don't know nothing.
Citywide crackdown.
These are the girls from Tony's list.
We haven't heard from Tony all day.
Mr. Dutch is an amazing person.
Let's go! Trying to get me killed? I'll kill you.
Fuck yeah!
It's always like and that with you, isn't it?
You're trying to analyze me. We're family.
We were family. So that piece of shit tried to get me killed.
When I gave your guy the janitor contact, I made my choice.
Where you going?
I hear you have the biggest dick on the boat.
Or maybe I am the biggest dick on the boat.
They left you a message.
I know you're a snitch.
I don't lose. Either I win or I learn.
Left pocket full of pink fizzies, right pocket got blues in it. Lord send them packs to me, I know what to do with it. $1,000 shoes, I'm walking.
This soul food spot is a hidden gem in San Bernardino. With $10, you get a full plate and they do not hold back. It's a family-ran spot and they make you feel right at home with the crispy fried chicken that's juicy, mac and cheese and collard greens that slap, and their crispy fried fish. When you pair it with the yams and the potato salad, it's game over. Top it with the dessert, all homemade. The food hits, the prices are beyond fair, and the hospitality is great. All at Melba's Soul Food Kitchen in San Bernardino.
All right, y'all. So we are back. For those that are wondering what's going on, this is what Jess was talking about right here. Okay.
Hi, Legend. Did you have a birthday last week?
Yes. Legend Whitaker just turned 6 years old.
Can we sing happy birthday to you?
He attends Floral Avenue Elementary in Bartow, where his class and teachers celebrated with a song.
Happy birthday to you.
But what happened next?
Would you like the funny song now that I sing to you?
Stirred up hurt feelings and anger.
Happy birthday to you. You live in the zoo. You look like a monkey. And you smell like 1, 2. Woo! Give a clap, everybody.
I don't like stuff like that. Legend says the song hurt his feelings. His mother, Desiree Prather, says the teacher sent her the video, and she went straight to the main office.
I automatically said, that's unacceptable. And I don't think nothing's funny about it.
Prather says there's a history of Black people being described that way, which makes it extremely upsetting.
My skin is boiling. I don't even like racism, and to know where we come from and our ancestors, and for us to be labeled like that because when they call us monkey, they basically saying that we're ugly, we act like a monkey and all this and that. I don't like that at all.
Polk County Public Schools district staff and the HR department are reviewing this. I followed up with additional questions, like, is this the first time this teacher has sung this song to students? And I also asked, while this is being reviewed, will the teacher still be in the classrooms? I have not heard back yet.
And we are back. We're back. We're back. So that's what Jess was actually talking about. What are your thoughts, Jess?
I have heard a little birthday song before, but this teacher is I don't even know if I would say unaware that she has a bias. Because if she did not, she would not have sang that song to him, and she would know the history behind what she just sang to that little boy.
Right. It's called using your better judgment. You know what I'm saying? But for me, you know, and I'm gonna go on my little tangent. You know, I'm gonna wear my black beret and wear my militant. You know, shout out to Quest. The teacher knew exactly what she was doing. This is typical behavior from people who are closeted racists or who are pussyfooting racists. You know what I'm saying? Who aren't as blatant. You know, or you know. They do stupid stuff like this, and I was just singing the song. I didn't know it, and they hide behind the stuff because you already know, and I'm pretty sure, you know, especially if you're being a teacher, you know, saying you know the connotation that comes behind that word, or especially, you know, if you're college educated. I mean, you definitely know what they used to describe blacks as, and they would call them monkeys. And then, you know, the look on his face was just so uncomfortable. I mean, he was just a little innocent dude. And, you know, that really, I don't know. I feel for that mom. I think the school district needs to do more. You know, bump an investigation. What more do you need to investigate? The video's already gone viral. You know what I'm saying? That was a racist remark. That was low. That was dirty. On top of that, who gave the woman permission to even film the kid? You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, you know, this is Florida. You know, Florida has been known to do some low-key racist-ish. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really just not surprised.
There are waivers that parents sign through the district for the child to be photographed and video recorded. But I don't know how that ended up getting viral. So,
well, because the teacher sent it to the mom. She was bold enough to send it to the mom. So the mom sat up there and actually got a hold of the school district. They refused to do anything. So she's like, oh, okay. So then she leaked it and made it go viral.
So my question is, does she sing that little quote unquote funny song to all of her students?
Right. And we'll never know. So the proof is in the pudding. Oh, that Lucetta says she didn't make that song up, so go. She didn't make that, so G up. She shouldn't have sang that song to that child.
Yeah, she didn't make it up. It's a song that's been known since I was little. So.
Right. You know, but okay. You know what I mean? Like your better judgment. Especially with, you know, with a lot of people talking about woke and all this other stuff. I would have probably chose a different song. You know? You look, you smell, you look like you go to the zoo. What? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I really don't know. You're a teacher, so, you know, God bless you, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that woman needs to be fired. They need to have a ethnic sensitivity training, I guess, for the ignorant. You know what I'm saying? So, well, wait a minute. They're getting rid of these courses, or they're getting rid of DEI, or they're getting rid of Black history. This is the exact reason why you should not take Black history out of school for people like this. But again, I think she's just playing dumb because, again, we have a lot of people who do that. Oh, I didn't know, and it was just being funny. You know, come on, man.
Yeah, there was we had a training today, and there is no excuse that she did not know No excuse. There's lots of training
You
for
good?
teachers.
You good down there? Give me a thumbs up. All right. What's up, Queen?
Hello.
I like the background.
Cute. I like it. Hi.
Thank you. This is actually my Zoom background, but
Oh, okay.
I just brought it over here to the west side. How are you guys? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, Queen. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. Were y'all just talking about that teacher that was singing happy birthday to that little boy?
Yeah. Do we need to bring it back? Have you seen it? Or?
Oh, I saw it. I saw it. And even to the point where I remember us as little kids singing the song, something like that. But in this day and age, and with this climate that's going on right now,
she has no excuse.
This racial climate that's going on right now, you know, doggone well you weren't supposed to call that little boy no monkey. He say he live in the zoo and smell like poo. And you saw the 3 little black kids was looking like,
right.
If you wanted to feel connected to him, she should have just threw on Gracie's Corner. She should have thrown on Gracie's Corner. Happy birthday. It's your birthday. You know? Because no.
Clap your hands. It's your birthday.
That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah.
Right. Say woo woo.
Something. You know what I mean? Like I was talking about, like, you know, how like there's certain people who do they pussyfoot. They kind of like, you know, they charade it as, oh, I'm just being funny, or oh, I didn't know, or it's just so innocent. Why are you upset? But they knew exactly what the intentions were. And I know right now I'm just making up a story because we haven't really talked to the teacher. But as a child of color and as a person who has encountered racist teachers, you know what I'm saying? Like, I kind of understand what's going on in there. You know what I'm saying? God bless the little kid because I was a different type of little kid. You know what I'm saying? Like you calling me a monkey, you know? I'd
have been like, you live in the zoo.
Like, yo, mammy a monkey. Your mammy a bald-headed monkey at that. And your granny got 3 strands of hair, you know?
Right.
Man.
I'm just saying. And it's crazy because, like you said, a lot of times they knew exactly what they were doing. And then people will choose to say, oh, you being sensitive. They pick and choose what you could be sensitive to. So if it's us, we supposed to just take it. But if it was something that offended them, then it would be offensive to them. So, yeah.
Nah. Immediately fired.
Yeah, for us, we're told to get over it.
I was just like, I hope his mama don't look crazy. Yeah. Every time. I said, and I was just saying, like, dang, I hope his mama don't look crazy. She looked crazy. I know she went up there and let them have it too.
Man.
I'm gonna just be quiet.
Word. All right, yo. So we're gonna run back this ratchet news real quick. I ran out of long ads. I gotta fix my camera. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Queen, you have a delay? Are you good with your Wi-Fi?
Yeah, I'm good with my Wi-Fi. That's why I was asking, did I lose you guys or what happened?
Well, no, right now, so my I don't know. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, my browser has lost connection to my camera, so I have to unplug it and then plug it. But I just got to just go backstage real quick. So, matter of fact, let me just go ahead and, speaking of racist and whatnot, let's just go ahead and have some funny real quick, and we'll be right back.
Here's the love. Here's the honor. If you can't come in her, come on her. Hey, Suanna, You need to come up. You need to listen to your nana. Go ahead, baby.
6 o'clock.
Girl, you crazy now. Hey, Big Ma. How you doing, baby? How you doing, baby? Good. All right now.
All right, Charles. You kind of get it. Since people want to be monkeys and whatnot, here's a reflection of you.
But what's so funny is it was like 3 guys that came out that really looked like how he looked on there. I was like, dang, he really looked like him. He really looked like him. They all said it was funny. It was definitely funny.
He had his spot on. Man. All right, y'all. So with that being said, we're back. I know you guys are waiting for it, and I know it's been a crazy one, but Diddy. Man, Diddy has been found, well, we already know he's been found guilty, but he was sentenced today. Coincidentally, today is the same day that OJ was acquitted of his charges. You know, go figure. You know what I'm saying? Like some 20-some years ago, right? Or 30-some years ago.
Yeah.
So I find it kind of funny that, you know, here we are in the same predicament. But, you know, again, Diddy was kind of cocky too. And I think he kind of got what he deserved to a certain extent. I don't know, but let me go ahead. I think I got a clip for y'all, and we're going to go ahead and break it down. And let's get to it. Let's talk.
A judge has just sentenced Combs to 4 years and 2 months in federal prison, and it's likely that he's going to get time served, which would mean that that's 50 months minus 13. So he will serve perhaps like a little over 3 years in prison, and again, he gets a little bit of time off for good behavior. Combs seemed unemotional when the judge decided his sentence. It was a really emotional day. Combs was crying as his children were up there speaking before the judge. 6 of his children spoke, telling the judge what their father means to them and how they really just want their father home, and his twin daughters talking about the death of Kim Porter, their mother, and saying that they've already lost a mother and now they've lost this father. The judge also directly addressing Sean Combs. He said, I know you feel like you're in a dark place, that your children depended on you, but he said to him directly, you are going to get through this. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, and he said that you have an opportunity to right your wrongs in a true path to redemption.
All right, we are back. So immediately, what are your thoughts?
And he got some time served.
He does. I think he served what, 13, 14 years? Or no, months.
Yeah, so he not gonna do that long. If you know anything about like how that works, and even with your sentencing and concurring and all those different terminology that they have, he's probably not gonna do that long. I did see a part where he was today he was sorry, and he was like, yeah, I was dead wrong. And I think that he didn't think it was gonna be as bad as it was. I think he didn't think that he was gonna have to do any jail time because he already been there for the amount of time that he's been there. And it's a lot more to this story. Well, we all know it's a lot more to this story than what it is. Just like they said, it's bigger than Nino Brown. It's bigger than him.
Right.
So he probably felt like, dang, it's people who did worse than me, like, and they still free. So that's probably where he is with it. But you the one who got caught.
We have somebody right now running the United States of America. I mean, you know, who is literally, you know, saying like he, you know, got found guilty, got found liable or some things.
And people mad at this man, and I'm saying, hey, he got voted in, but at the end of the day, it was either run the country or go to jail. I feel like he was like, man, look, I ain't had nothing else to lose. I was about to get locked up. So, you know.
Oh, man. You were like back to Diddy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, but I think to a certain extent, I think he believed that he was going to be out. I think he didn't believe that he was going to serve any time, like, or at least he would have got time served, because he had a booking engagement in Miami, you know, scheduled for next week. You know what I'm saying? So,
shouldn't have made that.
Word. I don't know, man.
How you gonna plan something you? How you gonna plan something? But that's where that cockiness come back out that you was talking about. He probably felt like,
right,
I got my time served. I'm about to get out. Like I said, he probably not gonna do that much longer, but it wasn't gonna be the day that he was going home.
Well, he got 3 years at least, because he had 3 years maybe at the most, because he's already served like what, 13 months, 14 months or so. So yeah, he has 3 years left. Honestly, I see his lawyers trying to appeal, even up until the point of sentencing. They weren't really taking these allegations serious. And I think for the most part, I think the judge wanted I'm echoing. I think the judge kind of wanted to send a message. Is it me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, but he was going to always be the example. He was going to always be the example. You good?
Mic check.
Yeah, you good.
Okay. Yeah, I think you have a little bit of a delay. I don't know what that is.
You think it's me? Because I think it's you.
Nah, I think it's you.
Oh, man.
How's your Wi-Fi? We see you in real time. But yeah, okay. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I understand how these things work, and especially how you do damage control. And again, he wants to get out, but then there's the severity of the actual case. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people really just didn't take this serious until they actually saw the video. And then once they saw the video, I think it changed a lot of people's perspectives, a lot of people's outlooks on him. And then also too, you know, I hate to keep throwing it up, but you know, this stuff with Tupac, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he may have some involvement. We started hearing like there's a different side of Diddy. Like, he's very cocky, very arrogant, and he thinks that his money can get him out these situations. The simple fact that, bro, you sat there was arrogant enough to book a speaking engagement. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, what were you thinking? Like, you don't think that they would not try to use you as an example? So the judge, you know, as far as like the prosecutors was saying, like, I think they were asking for essentially like 11 years. And so Diddy's defense was trying to get that thrown out, saying it was too harsh. The judge said, no, I think that is, I think that's cool. You know, keep this here. You know, and then Diddy's defense was trying to at least get like 14 months with time served. And he said, no, I don't think that would suffice. So once I heard that, I was thinking like, yo, he's getting ready to do some time. I don't know if it's going to be that severe, 11 years, but it wasn't going to be as lenient as, okay, you're getting ready to walk out of here.
No, he was gonna have to sit down. And there's several reasons around that. Even if it came out that most of the stuff that they said wasn't true, because he wasn't found guilty for all of the stuff that they were saying.
True.
I would say that he figured, since there's so many people that's bigger than him that's doing worse than him, then he would not have to do as much time as he did. And that's not the case, my brother. Because you still a brother. You doing what they're doing, but you're not them. And that's when the slap on the face came. Because they still free. They free or dead. Like, either way it go, they free. They you know who I'm talking about, and you know what I'm saying. So even though you was running with this boys club, a lot of stuff didn't come out. He didn't say a lot of stuff that he knows, so he figured that's another reason why he wasn't gonna have to stay in jail long or do that much time, because he didn't bring in anyone else's name, even though we know it's a lot of them. But at the end of the day, hey, they was on you, even though it's ulterior motives. Yeah, even though it was ulterior motives and other reasons why. Yeah, she said he had to take that. When you know, you was hanging with them, but like I said again, you were with them, you ran in those circles, but you're not them. And they're gonna make that very clear. You still not them. When you was like, yeah, I'm about to sue this liquor company because whatever, you still not them. I'm about to do this and this and you still, they set you down.
Yep, they showed him his Negro wake up call.
Yeah,
they served him a nice cold slice of humble pie. Like, you know. Jess, what are your thoughts?
He got what he deserved. And like I said, now he can take that. That's my 3 cents.
Dang, that was a short 3 cents.
Mm-hmm.
Do you care to elaborate more or expound?
On Diddy? Yeah, I just really feel like it's been a long time coming. This still doesn't give Cassie justice for all of the years that she had gone through, all of the damage, the psychological damage, mental damage that she has went through with that man. And Diddy should have spilled the beans on everybody else. Why not?
Because he knew he still was gonna have to come home.
Yeah, the snitches get stitches.
Yeah, he knew all that. He knew all of that. But still, he's still not serving enough time for all of the stuff that he's really done. So he's still getting off kind of easy. I mean, we're not judges or prosecutors, but we know it was more to the story than that. The stuff that he got found guilty for was like, so he doing this much time. He could have been doing a lot of time if everything that he's done as far as the conspiracies or whatever about Pac and Biggie and everybody.
I don't think he had anything to do with Biggie.
Like even Shine. He took that whole bid for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
He took a whole bid for you. And even the lady who was the victim said who did it. But it's just like that. It's just so many things that took place. And he kept getting away, kept buying his way out, moving around, trying to hang with the right people until you ruffled the right feathers and they let you know exactly who you are, like, and what you have to go through now. Like, yeah, you're not one of us like that. Right. And I feel like this is just the beginning. They're going to keep messing with him. They're going to keep coming back for him. The thing with Tupac, there's no statute of limitations on murder. So if he did do that and they come back and they find out that he had something to do with that, that's something else he's going to sit back down for again. So, yeah, it's gonna be rough for the brother.
Well, to backtrack off what you said, yeah, definitely he's that's something with the judge I kind of brought up. Like, you have money, you keep kind of, and I'm paraphrasing, you keep kind of skating out of these things, and you think that your money can actually help you. He kind of alluded to that. Yeah, like you said, Shine had to sit for 10 years. 10 years he took a bid for him. And, you couldn't even make sure that he was right when he came home. The girl said, you did this next Y and Z. And then, if you believe Keefy D, because Keefy D had confessed to this more than once and kept his story true, I think it was one of these things where he didn't say, hey, here goes $1 million and go get him. I was like, hey, well, I paid to have this happen. And, with Pac beating up Orlando, I think, hey, there was a perfect opportunity and motive. But for whatever reason, for what we're hearing, Diddy had a really obsession with Tupac, like a jealousy.
Oh yeah.
I didn't even know that Diddy had auditioned for Bishop in Juice. He wanted that role and he didn't get it, but Pac got it. And you look at some of the girls that Pac had been with, because one of Diddy's baby moms, Sarah Chapman, was actually with Pac before him. You know what I'm saying? Like
he had a real I was trying to think of what character to correlate him to from a different movie, but it's not Paid in Full. But yeah, he had a real obsession with him. And even as far as Pac's friendship with Biggie, like they really used to be friends.
Right.
A lot of people don't know that, but a lot of people do. And even as far as that, like he didn't want them to be friends like that. He didn't want that friendship to happen. He didn't want that to continue.
He wanted to control Biggie, essentially.
He wanted to control him. Yes.
Yeah. Because Pac used to bring Biggie out to LA, because I think Pac was staying in LA around this time. So, Biggie was getting to know Snoop, Nate, get to know like a lot of these West Coast dudes. This is prior to Tupac joining Death Row, what I'm saying, where a lot of people get kind of messed up. And then when Tupac would go to New York, the first person that would actually go pick him up would be Stretch from Live Squad, and he would hang out with Biggie. You know what I'm saying? Like, he really looked out for Biggie, was making sure that he would stop his shows just so people can know him. And like you said, Queen, Biggie was supposed to be a part of Thug Life. You know what I'm saying? Like, and especially when that deal with Uptown fell through, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was supposed to be a part of that. Then they took a lot of Tupac style, a lot of what Tupac showed them, and they infused it into that Ready to Die album. You know
all
what
the
I'm
way
saying?
to the Versace shirts, all the way to the yes, they.
Because I didn't know that Pac was that, because again there was a whole nother album that was supposed to come out, and he was doing that baby, and a lot of that stuff, some of that stuff, like It's All Good, all that stuff that comes from the Bay. There was a lot of lingo that Biggie was using, baby, all this other, it was, and then talking about death in the album, you know what I mean? Like it was all Pac, you know what I'm saying? And he didn't give him a thank you. So I understood where Pac was coming from. But yeah, Puffy, and then at some point they were trying to get Tupac on the Bad Boy or get managed or something. And he was like, no, he didn't wait. It was something that Pac was never feeling Puff.
Yeah, he wasn't. And he knew how, he knew. It's a lot. It's a lot. But
it's a lot to unpack.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It goes deep.
But I think so even going back with Biggie, I think whatever happened, again, Queen, you know how it is. West Coast dudes are crazy. You know what I'm saying? You get one of ours, we're gonna come back and get you. And I think what happened that night with Biggie, I don't think it was meant for Biggie, my personal opinion. I think it was meant for Puff. You know what I mean? But with Puff having the security that he had, the security told him, hey, run the next 3 lights. So he ran the lights, but Biggie's car got stopped. And I think that's how he got hit. Because, again, Puffy kind of had his hands dirty. Suge lost his friend in Atlanta, and they said was behind Puff. On top of that, Suge was smashing Puffy baby mama. And we already see what happens when people be messing with people, baby mamas or whatever. They get emotional.
Everybody was smashing Puffy. Hey.
They get emotional and start dancing. You know what I'm saying?
God.
They start dancing.
Okay, let's move on.
Oh, I thought he was talking about Offset. Or talking about somebody else. I thought you were talking about Offset, but okay.
Damn.
Wow.
But then we hear all this stuff with Cassie. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you good. It's your show.
No, you go ahead.
Even
when you're the queen, this is your show too.
When it first happened, even when I was lit.
Sorry, it's still delayed.
This is my husband. So he don't feel good. But
you guys are married. You guys are one.
Even when it first happened, I know. Even when it first happened, people were saying that Puffy had something to do with it, even when I was in the 7th grade, even when Pac first died. So that would imagine way back then they were saying it. It was like, yeah, he had something to do with it. So for that to even be in the streets then, and here it is 2025, and Keefe D's story ain't changed. He's still saying it. He's still, when people lie, the stories change, details change, times, event, all kind of stuff. It doesn't stay the same. It's not going to be consistent, especially over that long of a period of time.
Right. I heard Gene Deal. Gene Deal was having like a live, and he said this is going to be restitution for everybody. It may not be long as far as the sentence, but it's going to be for the Cassies, for the other women he abused, for the Tupacs, for the other victims, and for the woman who got shot, for the people that he screwed over. You were saying like this is going to be some type of justice for everybody. You know what I'm saying? But
and like the twins' mom.
Well, that's alleged. We don't know. And again,
alleged.
So we heard we seen or Christian Combs, who is the son of Kim Porter, was saying, "Oh, he's always taught me to respect women, and he's always treated my mother like a queen." But then we're hearing to the contrary. Well, actually, not even hearing. We see some of it. Like, bro, you're with this woman, but then you got this one over here. You're smashing Cassie. You're over here smashing Young Miami. You're over here smashing this and doing. Where's the respect? There is no respect.
Yeah, and I feel sorry for the twins that they probably think their dad is such a good man.
Rob, you good? Give me a
yeah, because I'm pretty sure with whatever he was doing with her and mistreating her, he probably never did it in front of the kids. The kids probably never saw that side.
Yep.
What's up, Rob? How you doing?
Now it's a party. Hey. Sorry, man. I had to deal with some contractors, dude. So I had to hurry up and get that done and then jump on.
Now, I appreciate you guys being here and holding it down.
Yeah. Where's Chris at? Is he sick? Eating that cold chicken? Got him sick? Oh.
My man don't eat cold.
Oh, yeah, he do. Oh, yeah, he do. He said, yeah. Tom, I hope he gets better soon, though.
Man.
Absolutely.
So what are your thoughts on Diddy getting 4 years?
I'll be honest with you. I think he's a weirdo. I think he's like really weird in a lot of things, but I think that right there was bullshit. I mean, honestly, I don't know what he's guilty for. Like the stuff that anybody would have got guilty over would have been like time served. Like what they found him guilty for sending someone to pick up a prostitute. Like really? Even me, that's a slap on the wrist, dude.
Well, I was reading it. It's not so much as that; it's part of that. But it was him actually flying the escorts or the prostitutes, to have sex and do all this other stuff. It was that. But again, so you want my honest opinion is that the judge was trying to get him because the prosecutor failed to get him on that stupid ass RICO charge. It shouldn't have been no RICO. There should have been some domestic violence. He definitely would have got locked up for that.
But she settled out of court though. That's the thing. She there was no domestic. I mean, they couldn't charge him with domestic violence because she already settled that.
Oh no, this was federal. So yeah, they needed something to kind of loop in. You know what I mean? So regardless of her taking the settlement, she got her cake, and she's actually getting ready to eat it too. It was up to the prosecutor to build a case, and that prosecutor, the lead prosecutor, actually got fired because of the fact that he got found not guilty on the RICO. But a RICO means that there's an enterprise of people and players involved, and she didn't really do that in court. All she did was just show that he was a freaky ass weirdo. You know what I'm saying? And there's really no crime to that. But the crime that he committed was whipping on Cassie, was whipping on 50 Cent's baby mama, sitting up there essentially using them like sex slaves, and then buying, and transporting prostitutes. So on one hand, they couldn't prove this, but they did prove that. So the judge was like, you need some accountability. You need some humble pie.
So yes, was it harsh on one? If it was an average Joe that would have got caught with a prostitute, yeah, it would have been a lighter sentence. But we're talking federal, especially transporting like state lines, doing this all
right. So the justice system never makes sense because I've seen pedophiles walk for worse stuff than this.
Oh, you ain't never lied.
Yeah,
one is sitting. Let me stop.
I think, and honestly, it doesn't matter to me. I think he's gonna get pardoned anyways. So I'm pretty sure within the next 30 days he's getting pardoned. I'm on the bet on that. Oh yeah.
I mean, his friend is. I mean, one of his billionaire boys club is the president. I'm just saying.
He already went on record. He's like, I don't think he was treated fairly. I gotta look into it. He already went on record.
But then he did say, "Well, I heard him say some bad things about me." So I don't know. You never know with the orange guy, but I mean, it wouldn't be the first. I mean, he has a White House full of people he's pardoned, and they committed all types of crimes and treason and.
I think there were freak offs at Trump Tower too, though. I think he had a couple of those there.
Alleged, but I'm more than likely allegedly, you know.
But yeah. But I mean, they gave him the max for a small charge, basically. Like they gonna give him 4 years for something that people get less time for, but they had to do something because it was, first of all, it's a high profile case. Second of all, y'all know that he did way more than whatever they're talking about he did. So they like, yeah, we're gonna have to do something. Mm-hmm. With that being said, even how sentencing goes, even with the time that they give you, they're gonna knock off good behavior, they're gonna knock off time served, they're gonna find all kind of stuff to knock off for him. And it's not gonna be a whole another 3 years. I could
be honest with you, I don't even think his career is done off of this. I don't think it's gonna like affect him too much. That dude has so many royalties, so much of a catalog. I mean, he's probably have to lay low for a little bit, but he ain't gonna be no Damon Dash. He's good.
Yeah,
he's good.
Nah, he ain't gonna be Dame Dash.
Nah, I don't see that happening. He does still have an empire. You know, he still has a legacy. His kids have skills also.
True.
But yeah, it's gonna be. He gonna have to that arrogant. He gonna have to get that arrogancy off of him because that's what's gonna leave a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth. But some people are done with him, but a lot of people aren't because it's a lot of people who do what he does, and they don't see anything wrong with it.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
true.
There's a people that like what she said that does what he does and a lot worse.
Oh yeah.
But like I said, man, it's one of these things where we were just hearing about it, and I hate to say this, especially for the victims out there of domestic violence. You know, we hear about it, but the fact that we actually seen it in real time, you know what I'm saying? Like I've told you a story before that, you know, one of my demos actually made it to him. He could have been potentially my boss. You know what I mean? And then at one point, you know, if I would have seen that, you know, I would have felt the way because again, I have a mom, I got sisters, you know, I got nieces, you know what I mean? That's somebody's daughter, you know, somebody's niece, you know what I'm saying? Like the way that he was beating her, you know what I'm saying? Like you could totally tell that he has problems. So instead of trying to go to like a speaking engagement in Miami, the first thing that you should have that they should have been able to prove was that hey, I booked myself for some rehab or for some therapy, you know, so I can unpack some of this trauma. Yeah, that should have been the first thing, you know, or let me try to get right with this domestic violence thing. I can't change what happened in the past, but I can start changing the future. Let me start with me. Let me really just start getting help because the way that he was hitting her just let us know that there was some deep rooted stuff from his past or his childhood that he has not unpacked and healed from. And he was projecting it to that woman and to the women that he's hurt.
And the way that you could tell that wasn't the first time. That was he been doing that. He been doing that.
And the sad part is it's not just him. All those people that stood there and watched and turned the other cheek, man. Yeah. Y'all some clowns for that shit.
Because you do have a whole staff. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's people I know a lot. It's people that get seduced by money. You know what I'm saying? Or they get seduced by a lifestyle like, hey, this is my bread and butter right here. What
So they compromise their morals and integrity all for $1. You know what I mean?
That's a damn shame, to be honest. Like, I don't know. I asked myself, like, if I was in that situation and I witnessed that, could I look the other way if I was getting that kind of money? Probably. But as of right now, I don't got it. So yeah, I would look the other way.
Honestly, I couldn't.
No, I
would have been sick to my stomach. Seriously, you know what I'm saying? Like, again, you know what I mean? And knowing me, I would have tried to fight his ass. Like, we gonna have to fight, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? You whooping this woman, let's see you whoop a man. You know what I'm saying? And I'd be damned if you whoop my ass.
And the fact that you can get tied into it too, dude, just for like being there and witnessing that.
Accessory, yeah.
I wouldn't give a fuck. Seriously, you know what I'm saying? That's a woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing that serious or that deep. You know, you over here putting your hands on this woman like she's a fucking dude. And that shit's not funny at all. You know what I mean? Like, he's a straight bitch for that. You know what I mean? Like, no respect.
A lot of stuff came out in this trial that showed his character and showed his other side. Even if he wasn't tried for it, now you know what kind of person he is on both sides, more than what you see, more than what we saw. So that's
one thing.
Yeah.
His personal stuff, he's a fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
Like, he's a fucking weirdo. And that's putting it lightly. But yeah, pretty much. But I mean, as far as like the actual charges and all that, I can't agree with it. I don't. Like what he was sentenced for what he was charged for. I don't agree with it.
I hear you 100%, but you definitely go back and listen to the verbiage of the judge. The judge, he wasn't going to give him the extreme of 11 years because I think people would have probably rioted in the streets if he would have got 11 years for a simple prostitution charge. But he wasn't about to give him no time served. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was going to have to answer for some of what he did, and that's what it was up. Essentially, you know, it was up to him. And Diddy should have done was, you know, bypass his arrogance and maybe took a plea. Like, hey, I'm going to do this and do that. What type of deal can I get? Therefore, you're acknowledging, hey, there's some wrong that I did. I did my time. But to sit up there and to act as if you were going to get off, you know what I mean? So you took it to trial. In that situation, you don't leave it up to the judge's hands. You know what I'm saying? He lucked out with that RICO because, again, they was a weak-ass prosecutor. But had it would have been somebody who'd been on their ish, that could have probably tied that stuff in and not really exposed like the porno stuff that we was hearing. Oh, yeah, no, he would have got some time.
Yeah.
Like I said before, he came out on top because anytime, besides OJ, anytime somebody go to trial, they getting the book. They are getting the book. Regular civilians, if you go to Riverside County Court, you go to Compton Court, you go to Long Beach Court, any of them courts, and you go to trial, and you look like the book.
The book.
I don't care if you jaywalked. The book.
The book.
You're going for a long time. So he still came out. Rosy.
3 years. You know what I'm saying?
Feel like
4 years, but 3 years because he got like a year served in a month. You know what I'm saying? So
he's getting pardoned. He's getting
if he stays in, I don't.
Even if he don't get pardoned, if he stay in, he gonna do anywhere from 7 months to probably about a year. I don't even see the whole year, the whole another year. So probably about 7-8 months.
We shall see. But you know, I'm gonna say this too. There is another case that's right around the corner in February, and he's already he snitched on himself, and so he already implicated a Diddy into this. So I wanted to see how his lawyers are going to try to tie Diddy into this whole Tupac murder thing. But you know, it's going to be interesting, and especially when we heard somebody who used to be Bad Boy president or something like that, Kirk Burroughs, who pretty much aligned with what Keefy D said, you know, saying about, you know, Tupac, you know, him being involved with the whole Tupac stuff. There are some New York dudes that rented the car and went to Vegas. One of the dudes who was part of Keepy D's crew already snitched and said, like, yeah, hey, I was at the bar talking with some dudes from New York. You know what I mean? I don't know. The only thing that they won't be able to prove is that Diddy gave him the actual money, not unless they got the check or they got some type of document. But other than that, man, we're about to hear some more stuff about Diddy.
To give him no check. Yeah, he ain't gonna be dumb enough to give him no check.
So Queen, so what happened was he did write a check, but he gave it to somebody else, like an in-between. But that in-between took that money and opened up a nightclub with it. So those boys didn't get paid, which is why initially they thought that those boys were behind Biggie because he didn't get his money, you know? Them boys in blue, you feel me? I ain't talking about 5-0. But yeah, man, so crazy day. This has definitely been our reaction to Diddy. Yeah, I know. So I'm just, it's crazy. It's crazy. We'll talk offline, but yeah, it ain't looking good for Keepy. I say that. But yeah, man. So, you know, we got Quez wanted to get into this one. We've been talking about our blacks really are really Native American. Man, I've been doing research. We've been trying to get in it for like the last 2 weeks. It just seemed like it get something. I don't know what type of force don't want us to talk about it. But in the meantime, though, some other stuff has hit the news. Bad Bunny has been picked as the Super Bowl halftime show performer. And there are people who, of course, are not happy about it. But while we're getting ready to load up for that, let's go ahead and let's tap into some Uncle Nearest.
Uncle Nearest Premium Whiskey is a brand of Tennessee. Whiskey honoring Nathan, Nearest Green, the first known African-American master distiller. The Nearest Green Distillery, located in Shelbyville, Tennessee, is the world's first distillery named after an African-American. Green is credited with perfecting the Lincoln County process, a charcoal mellowing method that defines Tennessee whiskey's smoothness. Get your bottle today.
Accomplish eliminating frizz and have that shiny look to your waves, you need a laydown pad. The Wave Essentials is having a sale right now for buy 2 get 1 free. With the little strap on the back, it makes it super easy to lay your hair down, and the plastic on the front helps with laying the hair down and creating that shine. Do this for about 10 to 15 minutes and you'll accomplish that shine and that lay down that you need. Nobody likes frizz, so make sure you go get your lay down pads before the sale is over.
The Chosen Project is a visionary saga that blends African heritage, biblical allegory, and mythic fantasy into a story of exile, revelation, and destiny. Through Enoch's journey, the series explores the battle between seen and unseen forces, inviting readers into a spiritual odyssey, both timeless and urgently modern.
All right, y'all. So for those that don't, make sure you go check out that book. It's on Amazon, Kindle. It's $3.99. I went and bought my copy, but definitely check that out. Definitely, it's the author is a huge supporter of this show, a huge believer of this show. So I want everybody to go out and make sure that you go cop that for me, please. But all right, y'all. So Bad Bunny has been picked as the Super Bowl halftime performer, and of course that has upset a lot of people.
Rob looks so upset. He looks so irritated.
Wait before you dive in. It was rumored that Adele was asked. She turned it down, and of course Taylor Swift, because her fiance is Travis Kelsey, you know, and so, but she turned it down. So they went to Bad Bunny. And, you know, I'm going to give my 3 cents. And of course, we'll all give our 3 cents on it. But of course, we already know when it comes to anything Spanish or Hispanic, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a group of folks that ain't going to be so happy about it. And they going to show they ignorant ass. So this is what it came out.
So you heard about this guy, Bunny? Is that his name? Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny. He's the Super Bowl attraction. He's going to play the Super Bowl halftime show. I remember in the 1990s, they once had a great big 50th anniversary of Snoopy and Charlie Brown. Snoopy and Charlie Brown. Now we have the Bunny, who hates America, hates President Trump, hates ICE, hates the English language. He's just a terrible person. Let's see here. There was the issue of, like, effing ICE could be outside my concert. Oh, yeah, he was canceling concerts because of, and it's something that we were talking about and very concerned about. Well, anyway, I'm very concerned about this guy showing up at the Super Bowl. It's yet another reason to not watch football. It stinks.
Wow.
Yeah,
He need to get in trouble for that. Blurred of freedom of speech. He need to get in trouble for that, huh? So I'll say this: Puerto Rico is still part of the United States. Number one, Bad Bunny is American. He's Puerto Rican, but he's American. Number two, even though the show gonna be in California, they said they're gonna be outside to arrest all of the illegal immigrants. ICE is. So if it's Puerto Ricans that show up to his show, where are y'all gonna put them? Because they're American. There's like a line of ignorance there. There's a line of ignorance there because you're gonna say, oh, it's gonna be some if you noticed anything about how Hispanics roll or the culture, it's different cultures in Hispanic, just like it's different cultures with other people. Some Puerto Ricans don't even like Mexicans. I'm just going to keep it real.
That's true.
But music is
music. And vice versa.
And vice versa. But music is music. And for you to say you're going to stand out, the Super Bowl is about to be packed. You're going to have ICE at the Super Bowl to arrest people. They not coming. You're going to be out there for what? They could watch it at home. You forgot that it comes on the TV at the house. They don't have to go outside to indulge in this concert if they're not supposed to be there. That's just one idea.
So I'll interject a little bit. I'm gonna let you guys take the floor before I get my 3 cents. It is a way for them to show their ignorant racist ass because we talked about it before on this show. It's a way for them to profile. So if anybody who fits the description of a Latino, you know what I'm saying? Hey, let me see your papers. Or are you legal? You know what I'm saying? Gives them leeway to do this crap, which is crazy. Because like you said, Puerto Rico is part of the U.S. territory. They are technically American U.S. citizens. Yes. So they just happen to speak Spanish.
So crazy.
Rob,
and
what are your thoughts?
America right now that don't think that Puerto Rico is part of America.
Yeah, I didn't have a chance to load up that clip. Well, I was getting ready to show I got to find that. You guys talk, and I'm gonna find that clip. Rob, what are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, Trump did try to sell off Puerto Rico too the last time he was in office. So, once again, like we said, there are people showing their ass. I mean, fuck that guy. For starters, like, fuck him. He probably cries during sex, dude. Look at him, man. That bum. I was
the news reporter.
That reporter.
Oh,
yeah, look at him, dude. He's a finger in the butt looking motherfucker, dude. Like, but I mean, I was disappointed that Bad Bunny got picked because I just don't like his music. I don't care. As a music head, I thought there was like way better options than that.
He made
yeah, but the whole thing with it. I even saw the threats and all that stuff that Trump was putting out, even having ICE out there. And I don't know, man. Maybe it's my man crush on Gavin Newsom. I just don't think it's going to happen because of that. I think he's going to step in, flex some muscles or do what he can to actually prevent it. But we'll see. We'll see.
I mean, February 8th is a while away, but
yeah,
ICE is going to be there. If he says they're going to be there, they're going to be there.
And that's why he doesn't want to. And that's why he said he didn't want to do shows in the U.S. because of that, because the harassing and the racial profiling, because that's all the fuck that is, dude. That is racial profiling at its best, right there. Yeah. It's not that, and then they want to take that and go, oh well, you just hate America. Like, you guys switched the narrative so bad and way out in left field. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people that agree with that, which says a lot about where we at as a society, which is honestly depressing, like really, really sad that common sense is not a thing nowadays. Like, there's no decency, man. And it's really depressing over it, dude. And now the thing is, like, what they don't understand is they're not learning anything from the Charlie Kirk shit. Like, we live in an era where people see this, their mental health is not there. They panic over it. They stress over it, and they feel like they need to act in a certain way. And they're just feeding that machine right there. That's all they're doing. It's really, yeah. I go on and on about that, man. But overall, I thought they should have picked someone else other than Bad Bunny, though. I mean, kudos to him, man.
Yeah, there is that. Jess, do you have anything?
I feel like they did this for the controversy so that they can get more views for the Super Bowl. I don't mind his music. I don't speak Spanish, but his music is good for dancing. So I don't see nothing wrong with him being the Super Bowl halftime show.
Right. He has some nice music. I mean, it's a lot of music that we even grew up to. Even black people. Like Suavemente. We don't know what they say, but that's the jam when it come on. We finna suave and all that. So
yeah.
I'm just saying,
what did you get down to Suavemente, huh?
Well, I'm just trying to say, look.
He's over there straight face like.
Well, no, there's been some songs. I mean, Shabba ranks, you know what I'm saying? I mean, against Patois, but I don't know what he's saying half the time. There's been some other songs, especially in Spanish, that I rock to.
Like Selena, we love Selena.
I love Selena.
Hey, y'all
for real?
I love Selena. I still love Selena. I was Selena.
You are not cruising down, bumping bitty bum here, right, bro?
You don't know what I bump.
You're not bumping that.
I didn't say I was bumping it in my ride, but I was little.
He's trying to say I wouldn't, but you don't know what I bump. I have a wide variety. I go down the street bumping blues. I bump jazz. I bump classical. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I bump Celia Cruz. Guantanamera.
Oh, see.
Guantanamera. Yeah, I bump Cuban music too. So I don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? But as far as Bad Bunny, I mean, he serves a purpose. He has a demographic. A large Latinos, everybody. Again, the demographic that he serves is people who speak Spanish and women. They're definitely going to be on Bad Bunny. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm not mad at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got Kendrick. Kendrick gave us an Emmy-worthy performance. We had Dr. Dre, Snoop. You know what I'm saying? They gave us an Emmy-worthy performance. We've had some good ones. We've had Michael. We've had Prince.
Beyonce.
Yeah,
I mean, it's in the Bay, though. You know what I mean? Like,
but we've had all kind of people at the Super Bowl. Look how many years the Super Bowl's been going on. We done had Hootie and the Blowfish, the Dixie Chicks. We done had all of them. So, I mean, you can't get mad at who they pick for a halftime entertainment show.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but they're talking about, well, he's not American. He's more American than you, too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm just saying. That's all.
But here goes the video here.
Thank you.
Is because I'm about ready to do my commentary on it. But do you think Bad Bunny is a good choice for the Super Bowl?
I'm not that knowledgeable about him, but it seems fine, and I don't know why it's a big deal. Seems like a great American artist, so sure.
He's not an American artist, but
he's Puerto Rican. That's part of America, dear.
She threw that deer in there.
Wow.
Because they really don't know. The ignorance is so
crazy.
Yeah. Like, come on, man. For real.
I'm excited. I'm happy for Bad Bunny. He's young. He's been out since his 20s. Like, he's been out for a long time, and he's still young. He's probably like 30, 31 maybe. So that's a good opportunity for him. It's not like he getting paid. You don't get paid for the Super Bowl, but you do get endorsements and stuff. So, I mean, I think that's a good opportunity for him. And
his music's gonna go through
it
the
is
roof.
what it is. If you don't like it, don't watch it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
turn it off for 30 minutes.
You might hear something that you like, but if you don't like it,
first off, I gotta correct this. Ain't nobody turning off the Super Bowl for no 30 minutes. So this is the best time, which has happened. I'm not a YouTube fan, a Shakira, J-Lo, you know what I mean? So the best thing you can do, hey, you go to the restroom, you go warm up your food, you go take whatever you gotta take care of. You gotta play it in the background. As soon as it's over, you come right back and you watch what you back to regular programming,
I did that. I walked away from the halftime show with The Who and Shakira. I didn't get to watch that. I was like, oh.
I didn't care.
I'm gonna watch it.
So I feel you, Jazz. I turned it off, dude. Oh no. It's just not my preference. That's all. Music wise. There we go.
I mean, to Jess's charging, I mean, she's right. I think to a certain extent, like, hey, what's gonna cause Bad Bunny? Because now we're playing into the system of racism, because we're living in a climate where it's so prevalent, and especially where you got people like ICE who are hunting down people who look like a certain type of way, the racial profiling. I even saw that they're racially profiling people in Chicago, black people in Chicago. This is just another excuse for people to show their racist ass. And again, it's just right now what it's doing is showing the ignorance. These people don't even know what a U.S. territory is. They don't even know what an American citizen is. This is showing with a lot of people, especially their ignorance and their illiteracy. And I think a lot of these people need to go back and go get a good education.
I think
the hypocrisy is like so crazy with that, dude.
I feel like if they learn the real history, it'll be even way more mad people than they are now. If they knew the real, I'm gonna be quiet.
Give us a little bit of nuggets, Queen. I'm gonna.
That's your next topic. We'll talk about it on your. That's your next topic. We'll talk about it.
What's the next?
What's
the black natives?
What's really annoying with the NFL though? Like what they were doing, like probably the last 2 weeks since that assassination. They're like, oh yeah, take time out to honor Charlie Kirk or whatever. Some of the teams were doing that, and those are the same people that were bitching about taking a knee. But they're like, oh, keep politics out of NFL. Yeah, okay. Because it doesn't fit your narrative. It's sad, dude.
It really is.
It's sad, but their owners are, So
yeah, majority of them are. That's disgusting.
Well, you know what? I wish Quez was feeling well enough. But we're gonna take a little dive into that. We're gonna take a little history lesson. You know what I'm saying?
I know
because that's my favorite topic too.
Yeah.
But so this is definitely going in or playing into the ignorance of people. You know, me again. We've heard the story, and I want to. So there's been a lot of talk, especially with a post I posted a few weeks back. You know, are blacks really Native Americans? And you know, so there's been a lot of debate. Some people feel a certain type of way about it. I actually talked to somebody who was she literally is like dark skin, but literally grew up speaking native, and this is the history and stuff like that. I know a little bit of history to know how that's possible, but then I also know what they're trying to say and what they're not trying to really enforce. And that's one of the things that me and Quez were talking about. It's one of these things where it's hard for you, even as an African American, even with with Mexican, with certain things. They talk about Native American blood being like the race or thing, but a lot of it lives within Native Americans because again, eventually they are Native Americans, but they also have a mix of European and then they also have a of African, almost equivalent to us. We just probably have more African than we do Native, and we might have more European than we do Native, but it's essentially the same type of mixture, the same type of admixture. So that's one of these things. And then for people to sit up there and get mad at Bad Bunny, again, he is black, he's European, and he's Taino native. So I don't know, Queen. What are your thoughts? Drop a few nuggets.
I'll start off by saying, whenever people say African and then they say ancient or they say native, the term Aboriginal always comes to mind for me because the first person was African. Period. That's a proven fact. There's nothing to argue about. When you go back to ancient history, they say the first people came to the northern part of America like 1500 BC. It was before that, but that's what they say. Okay. But even if you look into like Olmec, or you look into Peru or the Aztec, like you were saying, Hispanics down on the Mexico coast, all of those statues of the people who look like them all over the world, the statues of the people who look like them look like us. They had the big noses, the big lips. You can't tell me that was a European. You can't tell me that was anyone else. And then before that, after that, before the $5 Indians, yes, Indians, Native Americans did look like us. There was a thing called the Dolls Rose. People did pay $5 to get on there to say that they were Indians so that they can get land and their children could go to school free. And those were actually Europeans saying that they were Indians. So when we had our Seminoles and our different Indians that looked like us that were already here, they got pushed to the back burner once again. And now when you look at things that has people with the feathers and they saying they Little Crow John and Black Wolf Morn, they look white. They don't look like the Indians that you think that they should look like. Right. But I'm gonna stop there and I'm gonna let you talk and then I'll say some more stuff.
Correct. So yeah, that's one of the things that me and Quez have actually talked about. And Jess and Rob, you guys can definitely drop your 3 cents about what you think and what you feel. But that's one of the things, especially with Rob, because I know you have Asian ancestry in you, right?
Yeah. Well, technically, I mean, if you look into the Filipino culture, we're like little small African people before the Spaniards took over. So yeah,
you're definitely right.
Now you want to call us Asian? Nah.
Because that goes into the borders, into the European constraints and borders and stuff like that. So I did have a Filipino gentleman. I had 2 of them actually. One guy pulled me to the side. He said, I'm just as black as you. I'm like, well, what do you mean? He said, look up negritos in the Philippine Islands and stuff like that. And I'm like, man, okay. So you know what I'm saying? So again, exactly. It's another admixture to where it's, again, you have the original, then you have the Europeans, and then you have, the mixtures that go on. But even if you look at like even in India, they have remote islands. I forget what they're called, the Andamans or something. But the people there are literally darker than all of us combined. They have no contact with the outside land. They're isolated because they are not even immune to the diseases and stuff or to the sicknesses and stuff we have. So you're isolated there. We can't even go to those islands because of the fact that they're ancient people, but they look like us. Even in Australia, you have the Aboriginals who look like us. So the thing what happened was, we had the out of Africa migration, and we started mating with Neanderthals and different species to where we created Europeans and then we created what's called Asians. So again, with that
that's the part we need to be clear about. This was before slavery.
This is before slavery. We're talking about the first humans that actually walked the earth.
Yes.
So we're talking about the prehistoric, ice ages and all this other stuff. So one of the things that me and Quez were talking about and we were agreeing on was that how did they have dark-skinned people through Europe, through Africa, through what is currently Asia, but you don't think that they would have crossed into the Americas? That doesn't make any sense. So even with that being said, for me, knowing my knowledge, we can even go with the theory that, again, if we're talking history, there was the Bering Strait at one point that was nothing but ice. And this is how they were emerging over from Northeast Asia into the Americas. But if you know DNA, you can it's equivalent to you taking your hand and going into a bag of M&Ms. You're going to come up with so many different colors, so many different things, whatever. It's not going to just be one thing. This is what I believe happened when folks came over. You know what I'm saying? So again, when you start mixing and your bloodlines and all this other stuff, which is why you have what we have today. But also too, when Europeans started coming over and bringing over Africans and whatnot, another thing that's part of history is that a lot of these natives, some of these natives actually took these black people in, especially the ones who were escaping slavery, and they adopted them into their tribes. So, and they were intermixing and marrying even within that too. So I know even with my own family history, one of my ancestors actually escaped slavery, went to Alabama and integrated in with the Choctaw Indian and the Choctaw natives, indigenous people, and they were given land out there in Alabama. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things that's how that happens too. But again, you have racists who will sit up there, or even within some of these tribes, that they won't acknowledge the darker skinned people.
So you're throwing the whole Hebrew theory out the window then.
Well, even it's complicated. It's complicated because again, when you look at it, even within, if we're being serious for a minute, when we started literally migrating out of Africa, especially into the area what is now present day Israel or the Middle East, whatever. Again, I forget the species that we made it with, in Asia, but essentially it was Neanderthals and a different species. But that gave segue. So again, if you know anything, so for example, if I had a baby by a white woman, that baby is going to be 50% white. So if that baby gets with another white person, that black DNA that you have decreases. So that 50 then turns into 25. If the offspring get with another white person, that 25 goes into another half. And then so forth and so forth and so forth, where you just have that last little bit of it. So even if you're looking at that, that's essentially how you have the Middle Easterns that were created. Everybody that's walking God's green earth came from African DNA, essentially. But again, there were other species that died out. There was intermixing. Again, like I think Quez kind of joked and said we were kind of staking our things and the different things and creating stuff. This is what happened. You know what I'm saying? But they died out. But all humans essentially come from Africa. So, we birthed everything. You know what I'm saying? You're the original men. So with that being said, you know what I'm saying? Even if it's just one of these things where people will like to rewrite history or rewrite history to a certain extent, but the DNA doesn't lie.
Yeah.
And then even within I looked into my ancestry, the Native American, well, it doesn't even show up in mine, but it shows up in my father, shows up in my maternal aunt, shows into my paternal aunt. It's like there at a very, very small percentage. That lets me know that at some point in time, somebody was 100% pure. And again, the bloodline started decreasing and decreasing and decreasing all the way to what we got right here.
How much did you spend on Ancestry.com?
I'm a history nut. So
how much did you spend on it?
Truthfully, I did my first initial test. It was free. It was a gift by my sister. And then I went on ahead because I was such again, for those that don't know, it was one of these things where, like, again, we as Black people got cut off from our culture. We don't know this. We don't know that. I wanted to dig and look. I wanted to find my essential Kunta Kinte. So this is something that definitely would interest me. So when my sister got it for me, I was geeked out. And then from there, I wanted to know more. So I got 23andMe. Then I went on ahead and did African ancestry. So yeah, I've definitely spent some money into definitely some of these tests. But I've also tested different family members. I tested my grandmother. I tested my aunts, especially the ones who are elder, because I wanted to preserve their DNA and to see what it is and actually study and learn where we come from to start breaking down some of these walls.
Did you find any other relatives that you didn't know about through that?
Yes.
Is that a trip or what?
Huh?
Is that a trip or what?
So I think I told the story on here before, but I found out that my last name, of course, is Williams legally, but I found that by blood I'm not a Williams. My father's father was the guy who raised my father was not his father. And then on top of that, I found out that I'm really a Wilson. So that led me into wanting to learn more and to learn more about that side. I learned I had a rich history. So even within that, I found African relatives. So when you have the Civil War, our history, we can only trace it back to a certain extent because, again, we were considered property, of people. Mm-hmm. We're X's and O's, but thanks to these DNA tests, you're able to jump past this certain block and you can find your roots. And I found African relatives that are still in that continent today, in Nigeria, in Ghana, in Cameroon. But then also too, because of the rate, the SA, I have a good European mix in me too. Where I have relatives literally in England, in Ireland, in Australia, in Asia, and in the Middle East.
Oh shit!
Everywhere. I have an aunt right now in Mississippi, and I had a great grandmother in Mississippi, and they were native. They were Indian. I'm talking about high cheekbones, red skin, hair all the way down to their woo-ha. And they'll tell you they're Black. They're not gonna say, they're gonna say they Black.
Why do you think that is, Queen?
Because they're original. They're original. So when you get it. Americans, it is a thing. They are original. They're not gonna say that there's something else that they're not. That's what they are. And a lot of people get it misconstrued. And over time, if you notice, even when I was coming up, people were so caught on what they were mixed with. Oh, I'm not Black. I mean, I am Black, but I'm this and this and this. People try to discredit the Black in you or the what's great about you or what's original about you. And it happens so much. And that's how a lot of stuff gets watered down, as well as history. That's why it's called his story. Because even if you go back, like I said before, over all the continents, they even went back as far as trying to knock noses and lips off a statue. What shape do you think it was that it had to get knocked off? Because if it looked like this and like them, they wouldn't have did that, right? So, and even in Mexico, even in Peru, even in like the Aztecs, all of the different Aboriginal, the pyramids, all those things, that was Black people. All the statues was Black people. I'm just gonna tell you that.
Well, here's the thing too. So think about it, and I want people to really use their imagination, close your eyes, and think about it for a second. Back in the day, there was no Facebook, there was no magazines, there was no news channels, there was no TV, there was nothing. So think in the same aspect, if we know that, okay, if mankind originated right here in this continent, especially if you're looking at the pyramids that were built in Egypt, you know what I'm saying? Those same equivalent pyramids, you find them in Central America, South America, you know what I'm saying, and present Mexico. So how is it, especially when you're even throwing in the aspect of religion, you know, how is it that people know that there's a spiritual essence to it? If we're talking about the creation of life, the very first man to have that connection with God or have that presence started over here in Africa. So how did, even when you talk about the natives, that they know that they're okay, there were different gods and there were this and there were that. There were some people that didn't know about Jesus back then because of the fact of the matter that, hey, there was no way of telling it unless you actually were a missionary to go spread it. So when you had all these people who had other gods like wind gods or tree gods or rock gods or all this other stuff, you know, where did it come from? That aspect of religion started from somewhere and originated from somewhere, and it originated here because, again, when you had that migration out of Africa, people were taking their customs, they were taking their traditions and taking their heritage with them. That's all I'm saying. So even when you had this admixture of the Neanderthals or whatever, they had to get it from somewhere. So yes, you know, at one point, I do believe that there was a group of people who looked like us, but then there's also another group of people who look like this too, which is why we have the people who look the way that they look right now. Because even like with a lot of my Mexican friends, I've even done ancestry tests on them, where they even look into their ancestry. They're a good chunk, maybe like 57% native, maybe something European, and then there's 12% African or 5% African or even 20% African. So, well, what are your thoughts? You've been over here quiet, just like.
Because I'm just trying to get through it.
We're almost done. What do you think?
What? I mean,
sorry, I don't feel good, y'all.
I hope you feel better. Like my man don't feel good either, girl. I hope you feel better. You better take care of her. You better take care of her.
Told you. That's why you don't eat cold pizza. You don't eat cold chicken.
Oh my God.
Told you.
There he
goes.
It was the kid.
It's some kids that got it. They done brought over Christopher Columbus diseases.
I call them the petri dishes. Those are petri dishes, girl.
That's why when my baby girl started school, she was already sick, and I was like, "Keep that away from me, dude."
So I do want you to continue this next week because I want Marquez to speak on the fact that we were never supposed to learn about ancient American history. And when I say we, I mean Black people. We weren't supposed to know about ancient American history because then we would know that it was us. We weren't even supposed to know how to read. We weren't supposed to know how to do anything. So, yeah.
We'll definitely continue. We'll put a toothpick in it.
On this. It's a lot.
Did you see that video I sent you, Third, on Instagram where they're debating where Christianity started?
Oh, Lord. Where did they say? Europe? Catholic?
Well, one tried to say Europe. One tried to say Europe. And Brother Man was like Africa and schooled her on it with the white teacher backing him up. That was like, wow.
Because in the beginning it was spiritual. In the beginning it was just spiritualism where God is our inner being and so many other things. But yes, the spirituality came from Africa. It all.
Well, because even with that, I kind of lost my train of thought.
Go ahead.
So what it was is essentially it originated here in Africa. It got picked up by the Greeks. You know what I'm saying? And then it got transported and then it got perverted by everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So
that's how you got white Jesus.
I don't know.
Because I'm still trying to figure out how he's blonde hair, blue eye. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you had you were hair like wool, feet of bronze. He was some type of color. He either looked like Jess, Nipsey Hussle, or he looked like, you know, the present day Palestinians. You know what I'm saying? That's what he looked like.
And what's so crazy about it is even, and Marquez told me not to say it, but I'm gonna say it anyway because everybody on here should know. And if you don't know, then go look it up. Even in the Vatican, when they go downstairs and pray, before they go upstairs and pray, they're praying to a black Virgin Mary and a baby Jesus, and they black.
Wow, even Ethiopia has early depictions of this is something that's deep. People don't really want to talk about it, but you know,
they don't want to know because then the story would turn to it doesn't matter what color he was.
Exactly.
That's what the story will turn to.
All right,
that's how it goes.
Exactly. You know, so this is definitely a deep one. We'll definitely continue it. You know what I'm saying? We have a militant Quez on here. Again, there are certain things, certain aspects of it that we agree on, certain things that we don't, but it still boils in within the same pot, the same different theories, but it still kind of boils the same. But you know, again, we're on that same thing, like where Clayton was saying we weren't supposed to know this stuff. But again, the same test that these people are using, the ends, but also more so learning, helping people learn more about themselves and where they originate. If you actually care enough to do the history and research, but that's just my 3 cents.
And you can hide it as much as you want to. You can try to cover it up as much as you want to, but then it's going to start and come
That's
back.
that part. Half of the society won't even do their research.
Oh, they're not. They're not. They're going to listen to somebody.
Correct. We will come back and we'll backtrack because that is a completely different story. We're going to have people who don't even know that Puerto Rico is part of the U.S. You know, that's this years that we're seeing within the next 4 months.
And I know that they sung 50 Nifty United States. So I know that they should know that.
All right, y'all. And this has been a real one. Diddy has been sentenced to 4 years and 2 months. Bad Bunny is now the Super Bowl halftime performer, and racists are not happy about it. And we will take another deep dive, you know, about Black Native Americans or Black history within it. You know, Facebook. We will see you next week. Have a good one.
Peace.